As someone who lives and breathes college football, I can promise you that this season will bring the mayhem. You'll feel it during huge wins and heartbreaking losses, on game-winning drives, or on drives that end in a post-game fender bender. This season, I'm teaming up with Allstate to highlight these key moments to let fans know if mayhem can show up on game day, imagine what can happen the rest of the week.
For expert advice, call your local agent today.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, from New York to LA and everything in between. Check your AM, FM listings, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80. Also, ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up, as always, is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Peloton, the game-changing indoor cycling bike, is the perfect gift this season. And Peloton's best offer of the year is here for 1 week only. Now through Cyber Monday, get the Works accessories, valued at $249, free when you buy the bike. For more details, see onepeloton.com. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, best phones, best networks, no contracts. People will have you believe that today is just a magnificent day, that so much has happened over the world of sports that, my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful day it is. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for. There is no question about that. For me, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my friends and loved ones. I'm thankful for a phenomenal job in which I get to talk about the things that I love and people that I respect and admire. I get to work with great, great people like I do here. Yes, Jonathan Winthrop, that includes you. You are actually great. I don't want to tell the world that, but you are actually great. So are you, JC. You know I love you, bro. John Curtis and the rest of the crew. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you people that don't have, they have a lot to be thankful for. Don't get me wrong in terms of life, being in the greatest country in the world, and et cetera, et cetera. But if you're Northeast Ohio, tonight is a night that comes with a level of bittersweetness. On one hand, Thanksgiving is coming up, and there's a lot to be glad about. There's a lot to be appreciative of in this great country of ours. But LeBron James returns to Cleveland tonight. By saying he returns to Cleveland tonight, that means he's no longer there. He's visiting. And if he's visiting, that is not a reason to feel good. Because where LeBron James goes, competitiveness, championship contention, etc., is a part of the equation. When he's gone, purgatory is what exists for you. And that is clearly the case with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the worst team in basketball. They were in the finals last June for the fourth consecutive year. LeBron leaves, they're the worst team in basketball. If there's a testament to the level of greatness that this man has had at his disposal or has had in the palm of his hands, this is the testament. And so he returns tonight as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. And you have people literally with storylines out there saying, okay, what's going to be the storyline for LeBron James in Cleveland? How are they going to treat him upon his return? Are they going to give him a standing ovation? Are they going to boo LeBron James? What's going to happen? And my point is simply this. Whoever boos LeBron James in Cleveland tonight, whoever boos LeBron James in the Northeast Ohio area, either it's tempering towards idiocy and ignorance, or you are simply one of those people who should be classified as one of the most ungrateful, unappreciative individuals that we could possibly fathom. It's that simple. The Cleveland Cavaliers, in the 4 years that LeBron was gone, were 19-63, 21-45 in that lockout short season of 2011-2012, 24-58, and then 33-59. The very next year that LeBron James arrived, They were 53-29 with David Blatt as their coach, and they went to the finals and lost. The second year LeBron was there, they went 57-25. David Blatt was relieved of his duties after a 30-11 start. Tyronn Lue takes over. They win the championship. The third year LeBron was there, they're 51-31. They go to the finals again because they fall, but that's after Kevin Durant arrived in Golden State. And then after that, they were 50-32. And again, they went to the finals. When you look at what this man has done, the fact that this man has erased a 52-year curse in the Northeast Ohio area. There's no professional sports team on any level that won anything in more than a half century. LeBron James comes on board, clearly back to deliver on a promise he had made to that city and that area. The man comes back, delivers a championship, erases the curse, fulfills his promise, and along the way stayed for 2 additional years where he took y'all to the finals. And this is the person that you would have a problem with? Let me tell you something. You know who I got my eyes on tonight? You know who I'm watching, John? You know who I'm watching, y'all? I'm watching Dan Gilbert. Because Dan Gilbert had better have some appreciation, and they better have something special planned for LeBron James' return to Cleveland tonight. Some kind of special tribute. Yes, fans can decide to cheer or boo or whatever, but damn it, Dan Gilbert don't have a choice. Now, I understand he isn't the most fondest person in the world of LeBron James. Let's just call it what it is. I'm telling you what I know. And we'll never forget that vicious letter that he wrote about LeBron James when LeBron James decided to take his talent to South Beach. Very, very few people are going to get over what he said about that man and what he wrote about that man. That was vicious. But it's over and done with. LeBron James came back, gave him 4 years, 4 straight trips to the finals, an NBA championship. There's nothing to talk about here. There's nothing to talk about here. Now, you want to sit up there, you want to point the finger at LeBron James? I'm quite sure you could come up with some reasons. Kyrie Irving, he left because of LeBron. You want to say that LeBron still went to the finals? Still went to the finals. J.R. Smith was relevant because of LeBron James. Iman Shumpert was relevant because of LeBron James. Kevin Love was appreciated and became a playoff contender and a champion because of LeBron James. And you can sit up there and talk about him carrying Kyrie too. I'm not going to go that far. Now, when Kyrie averaged 29 and 27 respectively in 2 NBA Finals appearances. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I got to give love to LeBron James for what he did for that area. His philanthropy. We know what he did at the University of Akron. We know what he's done for a bunch of people out there. We get all of this. But if you are Dan Gilbert, with your franchise mired in purgatory and misery and beyond, for every season that LeBron James has not been there, there is no excuse to avoid giving this man all the praise he has so richly deserved. Now, I've been critical of LeBron James from time to time, just talking basketball. Some things I love, some things I don't like, even though he's the greatest in the world. But it's certainly nothing personal. From a personal perspective, you can't ask for a better professional athlete to represent your franchise. You just can't. Doesn't cheat you with effort, doesn't cheat you with conditioning, doesn't cheat you with results. Generates revenue for you out the wazoo. What is there to talk about? You're Cleveland. Yes, you're a fan. You have the right to cheer or boo all you want. You pay for tickets. But if you're the media, you have to appreciate LeBron. If you're the Cavaliers organization, you have to worship the ground he walks on. If LeBron James wanted a damn pedicure from Dan Gilbert, he should get it. Now, you might sit up there and say, because there are some people that will say, well, you know what? What the hell are you talking about? Because LeBron James did leave, and when he came back or when he never left before, when he hadn't left before, Dan Gilbert still paid him. When he came back, Dan Gilbert religiously had the highest payroll in the NBA. All of those things were absolutely positively true. No doubt. No doubt. But having said all of that, he did it for a reason. He did it because it was LeBron. He did it because anybody would do that from LeBron. He did it because it was undeniable what LeBron James was worthy of. And you got to give him his due. He left in 2010. He came back in 2014. And he did what he promised. He left when he was 25. He came back when he was 29. And he came back having gone to 4 straight NBA finals and winning 2 championships. There's nothing to talk about. Give this man his just due. Appreciate what he has done for this area. And if you're the fans, you should too. Man took you to the finals 4 straight years. There's nothing to talk about. He took care of you. And why do I bring this subject up? And why do I think it's so important to talk about? It's something because of what I alluded to yesterday. And I'm going to get into my NFL stuff in a little while because I got Jason Witt coming on the line. I'm going to talk about Malcolm Jenkins talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to talk about what we saw Monday night with the Rams and the Chiefs. I'm going to talk about the AFC and the teams capable of knocking off the Kansas City Chiefs. And if there's anybody other than the Saints capable of knocking off the Rams, I'm going to get into all of that. That subject's not going anywhere. I'm not going to sit here and as deplorable and pathetic as the Cleveland Cavaliers are, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about how Duke looks like they could beat the Cavaliers. I'm not going to entertain that subject. I will tell you this. There's no doubt in my mind that J.R. Smith was right. They ain't trying to win them damn games in Cleveland. They're trying to get Zion Williamson. And I'm going to tell you why that would be a disastrous thing if that was ever to happen. But I'll tell you that a little bit later on in the show. For now, I want to get back to revisiting what I alluded to yesterday, because I think it's incredibly important to bring this up. I think it's incredibly important to bring this up. Ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about the greatness of LeBron James, if you want to talk about him being the greatest player in the world, then isn't it fair to say he's the standard? He's the standard upon which everyone should aspire to be in today's NBA game. Well, let's parlay that into the next subject. Why the hell hasn't anyone else measured up? Anthony Davis may not have the personality. Playing at the Smoothie King Arena. I told y'all before, I don't think there's any way in hell some guy playing at the Smoothie King Arena every night is going to get a league MVP award. I don't believe it. I told you that. The Greek Freak is phenomenal. He's in Milwaukee. I think that hurts him to some degree in terms of box office appeal. Even though we right here at ESPN, we did a great commercial with the Greek Freak. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We got LeBron James in Tinseltown at age 33, approaching age 34, his 6th season in the NBA, flat out balling, averaging 28, 8 and 7. He's looked phenomenal, and he's just getting started. Shooting nearly 40% from three-point range, pulling up from 32 feet for threes. All of that's true. But what's up with a couple of other people? Kevin Durant got fined $25,000, I believe it was by the Warriors, for cussing at a fan in the stands against the Dallas Mavericks the other night. Walked over them, told them to shut the F up and watch the game. Some people sit up there and say, Kevin Durant, there he goes again, being sensitive. I've certainly been one. I'll certainly say to you that for me, when I look at it, I got to tell you, Kevin Durant was wrong. You can't act like that. That is absolutely true. But I do side with him from the standpoint that he says, why do folks act like I've changed so much? I haven't changed. I've been the same all of this time. Y'all just paying attention. Does have a good point there. Does have a good point there. KD is somebody that wears his emotion on his sleeve. He might have tried to be PC because that's what he was advised to do, and maybe that's what it was. But the reality of the situation is if you catch him alone, he's always wanted to tell you what he feels. That's fair enough. But I would tell you something right now. You know, we see LeBron in L.A. We see what LeBron is doing. It's time to start looking at some of these other guys and holding them accountable. Only from the standpoint of trying to measure up. You want to be recognized as one of the greatest in the game. You want to be recognized as an MVP candidate. You want to be recognized as such things, especially with the money that you're getting paid. Let's start holding them accountable for the right reasons. Like, for example, I'm in the nation's capital the other day, and I'm watching the Wizards. Ladies and gentlemen, the arena was half full. Half full. Now, here's my mindset. To be quite candid and simple about it. I am watching this stuff unfold. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, all right, they lost 2 straight. They lost to the Brooklyn Nets. And then Damian Lillard came in and dropped 40 on them Sunday. And then last night they were down by 24 in the first half to the Clippers, getting their behinds waxed. And I said, this is going to end badly. Something's got to give. Ernie Grunfeld, somebody got to make a trade or whatever. But John Wall balled, showed up, showed out, dropped 30, was handling his business like that. Bill dropped 27. He was balling. And they carried the Wizards to victory. And Otto Porter was a key factor. Jeff Green, rather, was a key factor. All of that is true. All of that is absolutely positively true. Undeniably so. But I will say this to you. Since that is the case, how come we can't do that continuously? John Wall spoke after the game and spoke about his emotional state of mind, how he heard the trade talk, how I was a bit rough. You know, how I was tough to take because he gives his heart and soul, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. Put on your big boy pants, John Wall. Not that simple. That's not how this works. John Wall can play. John Wall is a 5-time All-Star. John Wall is not a scrub. But it is time that people recognize that when you're the face of a franchise, you're a franchise player. Guess what? You galvanize the team. You set the example. You can't come into camp out of shape. You can't look like you was hanging out in South Beach drinking tequilas. I'm not saying he was. I said looking like it. You can't do that. I can do that. I'm on camera. I ain't got to run up and down the court 94 feet, 82 nights a year. I ain't asking 18 to 20,000 people to pack an arena to come watch me play. All they got to do to watch me is turn on their television sets. And I deliver the goods, make no mistake about it. But that's beside the point. My point to you is that's what you don't do as a player. You don't let it go. John Wall's playing now. But you are the face of a franchise that's 6-11. 6-11. 5 games under 500. Markieff Morris is ticked off because people are leaking to the media about what happened in practice. My brother, they've been doing it. This stuff that's being said has been going on for years. Yeah, the reports, John Wall cussed at Scott Brooks, MF'd him. Well, guess what? He did it to Randy Whitman. The only difference was that Ernie Grunfeld wouldn't allow Randy Whitman to find John Wall, but he allowed Scott Brooks to find him. And as a result, John Wall is now running amok. Now, I'm not saying this to denigrate or knock John Wall. I like John Wall. He might not like me very much right now, but I don't give a damn. He'll like me later when he balls, and I praise him for balling, which is what he should have been doing to start the damn season. But the fact of the matter is, he got his money, he was comfortable. And as a result, he thought he was running things. And Scott Brooks, who's a good coach, but I questioned whether or not he was ideal for this job because he doesn't like confrontation. And John Wall is a temperamental athlete that sometimes you might have to confront. That might be a bit problematic for Scott Brooks. That's all I was saying. But the fact that John Wall cussed at him and ultimately got fined is a good sign to me because that tells me Scott Brooks ain't taking it. Now, you John Wall and the Washington Wizards, let's be very, very clear. John Wall is an all-star caliber talent that, based on his past, is worthy of the $170 million contract he signed. But the Wizards are trash. Now, that doesn't mean they'll stay that way, but for the moment, they're trash. And if you Markieff Morris, I got news for you. I'm not saying this about Markieff Morris. I like Markieff and his brother Marcus. I like them both. And I respect the hell out of them. But you need to know, since you want to be sensitive to what's coming out of the locker room and the franchise, let me tell you something else that's coming out. You do have people who believe, not Stephen A., but you have people who believe you comfortable even when you play suspect because you got a good relationship with John Wall. You're prioritizing, in other words, having a good relationship with John Wall rather than balling the way you're capable of balling. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not Stephen A. being negative. I like Markieff Morris. I respect him. I respect his realness. But you need to know they're saying this about you. He needs to know that. Once again, everything comes back to John Wall. Bradley Beal struggles. They blame John Wall. Markieff Morris struggles. They blame John Wall. Otto Porter struggles. They blame John Wall. Kelly Oubre struggles. They blame John Wall. Gortat struggled all last year. Damn near quit on John Wall. Since John Wall MF'd them last November and lost them psychologically, they blame John Wall. That's a fact. It's a fact. Now, you might not like that, John Wall. My brother, it might not even be fair. But you didn't know this? You didn't know? You didn't know this is what comes with being a max player getting paid max dollars, although you can't fill up an arena because it's half empty because they don't believe in you in the nation's capital? You didn't know? This was a surprise to you? Really? People get upset at me all the time because I report this stuff. So be it. I have my friends and loved ones. I don't need new ones. But I do pride myself on being fair. And I got something to say about that too. And more up next. Stick around. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio. That was time. That was Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage in America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. By the way, gentlemen, it's fall and it's time to take advantage of that cool, crisp weather. Be active. Take your girl out. Go to a game or a concert. Get tickets to something. Plus, it's a football season, and the time is now to jump on those tickets. For all your ticket needs, look no further than Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Go to vividseats.com and enter promo code ESPN to get 10% off your first order. Get out, go have an experience, fellas. Get to the game and use what I use. That's Vivid Seats. 888-SAY-ESPN. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Technology Truths, brought to you by Geico.
Technology Truths.
Truth. Teenagers can communicate entirely in emojis.
How was the birthday party? Pizza slice, kitten, soccer ball, pineapple?
Truth. It's so easy to switch and save on car insurance at Geico.com.
What are you talking about? Paperclip, shoulder shrug, high five, wizard hat? What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Here in this chair, waiting on you, baby, to see things my way. Stephen A. Smith Show, brought to you by Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. That's Credit Karma, K-A-R-M-A. Get knowing. Spending my time, wasting my time, talking till I'm black and blue. So can't you see? I want to get next to you. Now that's me. I'm playing around because my sister Carmen is driving down south for Thanksgiving, you know, and she in the car sitting there laughing at me right now because it makes her laugh when I sing. You know, my brother-in-law. And you know what, John, both of y'all, you know, my brother-in-law, man, his name is Darren Odie. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all met him before. He's good people. But I don't like him sometimes. He always looking at my sister in certain ways. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have to like that, do I? I mean, you know, Cat, you listen to me. I know I'm the little brother. I'm not the big brother, but I don't like it. He just stares at her. And, you know, he's like a little critter plotting. You know what I'm saying? Just plotting. You know? And his eyes are always lower, not higher. I wonder why that is. You know? Let's just say that, you know, I guess he's trying to say my sister J-Lo have something in common. I'll just leave it at that. Okay? But I don't have to like it, damn it. I love him, but I don't have to like it. He's with her now. He should be the one singing to my sister, not me. I'm just saying. Anyway. ESPN Radio plus ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive's Home Insurance. Get your quote at Progressive.com today. I started off the show, alluding to how the worst thing that could possibly happen to Zion Williamson at Duke, who struggled in a win over Auburn yesterday. By the way, Bruce Pearl, I just think that Bruce Pearl can coach. And I think yesterday was the latest example of him doing that. Let me say this. You know, when I think of Duke's Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett is clearly the best player on Duke's team, but Zion Williamson is a monster, 6'7", 46-inch vertical leap, 280 pounds, built like a chiseled brick house. It's something special to behold. His ball handling skills are still suspect to me. He can pass. He definitely can jump out of the gym. Let's see what he can do, whether or not he can shoot or something like that. Here's what I will tell you that I have a concern about. I don't want this man in Cleveland. Cleveland is clearly trying to lose games. Cleveland clearly has no intentions of winning basketball games. You want to call it tanking or say it's not tanking or whatever, fine. But I'm telling you, they ain't winning no damn basketball games. I don't even believe Kevin Love is that hurt. I think that, listen, Kevin Love, why play? You want to build a franchise going forward if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why would you play Kevin Love? If you're smart, you should trade him. That's what you should do. Send him to L.A. Start at UCLA. From the area, send him there. But whatever you do, don't wish for Zion Williamson to end up in Cleveland. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about it's not the fact that he's great and gifted and all that stuff. Of course, you want that from a number one overall pick. But if he ends up in Cleveland, understand the magnitude of it all. The real problem lies in the fact that he is the one person drawing comparisons to LeBron because of his physical prowess. He's so much bigger and stronger than everybody he's going against. If he were to come out in the draft and they drafted him in Cleveland, they would expect him to be LeBron. And I think that's a recipe for disaster for him. I think the best thing that could happen with Zion Williamson is that he ends up anywhere but Cleveland. Because anywhere else, you'll just be a great talent. But in Cleveland, they'll be looking for you to be LeBron. And I don't think that's something that works for him. I really, really don't. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The other thing I wanted to mention is this. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the league's leading scorer right now in the NBA? It ain't LeBron. It ain't Anthony Davis. It ain't Kawhi Leonard. It ain't Russell Westbrook. It would happen to be Kemba Walker of the Charlotte Hornets. Let me tell y'all something. Kemba Walker has arrived. This brother is just a scoring machine. He knows how to put the ball in the hole. He can score. He's running around picks. He moves without the basketball. He can pull up for three. He's got a nasty handle. He can create his own shot. He can get to the hole when he wants to. He's that special. He's that special. And I got to tell you something right now. Michael Jordan, my brother, let me be very, very clear. I don't want Michael Jordan to lose Kemba Walker. But if by chance Kemba Walker decides to go someplace, we've been talking about Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and all these guys. Let me ask y'all a question. What if Kemba Walker was in L.A. with LeBron? What if Kemba Walker was in New York City with Porzingis for the Knicks? Because I'm no Frank Ntilikina fan. And this kid Tria's nice. Okay, and I got all of that. But Kemba Walker's special. I don't think Charlotte can lose him. I don't think they will lose him. But he is going to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. He's only getting paid $12 million. He's due for a huge payday. Somebody's going to give Kemba Walker $175 million. And he'll deserve every penny of it. Because Kemba Walker can flat out ball. And I think the time has arrived for us to recognize and respect what we're seeing from this kid. He's something special. And by the way, he ain't new to this party. He turns 29 in May. He's only 28 years old. He's from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx. And by the way, Kemba Walker has been in the league since 2011. Okay? This is what is his ninth year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his ninth year. Do y'all know he's averaged 17 points a game or better since his rookie year? Other than his rookie year, he's averaged 17 or better. The last 4 years, he's averaged 20 or better. And now he's averaging 29.6 a game. He shoots 86% from the free throw line. He shoots 39% from threes. He's making 46% of his shots from the field, 46.5%. He plays for the Charlotte Hornets. And I'm telling you something right now. Somebody better wake up. You better recognize Kemba Walker's a bad brother. Let's start. We keep talking about the big names, the Kyries, the Anthony Davis, the Kawhi Leonards, the Jimmy Butler, whatever. Let me ask you a question. And Jonathan Winthrop, I'll look right at you when I ask this question. I know they're different kind of players. If Jimmy Butler had value, how come Kemba Walker can't? Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Butler doesn't score like Kemba Walker. He just doesn't. He just doesn't. Let's call it what it is. This kid Kemba Walker is special. They got a game against a home game tonight against the Pacers. Kemba Walker's something to behold, man. Charlotte on the season, 500 team, 8-8. But Kemba Walker's special. 888. Say ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Let's go to the phones, y'all. Let's go to David. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. Appreciate you taking my call today. Just want to jump in about your comments about LeBron and how the fans should treat him tonight. To me, Dan Gilbert should be bowing down to this guy. No player in the history of basketball has had the economic impact, the societal impact, and the basketball impact this guy's had. I mean, you take him off that team, the Cavaliers are a freaking G League team. I mean, LeBron James, not only the greatest player of all time, but the guy who's got the greatest economic impact of any player I've ever seen in pro sports. Have a happy Thanksgiving, bud, and love the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. More to Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute. By the way, do you have frequent heartburn? like the kind where you have antacids stashed everywhere in case it pops up. You know what I mean. You keep some in your bag or your desk or your car or your nightstand. You have those chalky tablets ready for whenever and wherever heartburn strikes. Well, listen up. There's an easier way to deal with your heartburn. That's Prilosec OTC. That's how. Just one pill a day will last a full 24 hours with zero heartburn. Kick your antacid habit. It's possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief. More to Stephen A. Smith Show before Jason Witten comes on in a minute. Don't touch that dial. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Peter Manning NYC makes clothes for the not-so-tall guy. Pants with shorter inseams, shirts you can wear untucked, and jackets that don't fit like a tent. Check out PeterManningNYC.com and discover a great fit. Use code ESPN for 20% off your order.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. We're coming to you live from the Seaport District at Pier 17. Brought to you by Chase. Also, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, protecting commercial vehicles and offering ways to protect small businesses from financial loss and liability. More at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Back to the phones we go. Courtney, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hi, Stephen A. I'm coming from Miami. I had a question about John Wall. I wonder, I'm asking you, what team do you think he's going to end up being in? And also,
I don't see him going anywhere, the Wizards, because I don't think anybody's going to be willing to pick up John Wall's $170 million contract. He's in the last year of his previous contract, getting paid $19 million this year. Next year, it jumps up to 38, from there to 41, 43, and 44. And if you're having the kind of struggles that you're having now, I don't know what the future holds for you in terms of somebody willing to take that contract. I'm not sure.
I got you. And what do you think about the Rockets? How do you think Chris Paul will get his first championship?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think listen, I tell you, here's the best chance for the Rockets, okay? They need to work out a deal to get Trevor Ariza back there. Get Trevor Ariza. They get Trevor Ariza back there. James Harden came into camp. He wasn't in tip-top condition. You could just look at him and tell. Okay. But I ain't worried about James Harden. He's a superstar, and I know he'll get it together. He's already gotten it together for the most part. He'll be fine. Chris Paul, as long as Chris Paul is healthy, he's a pit bull. He's going to find a way. But they need help. And I think it's one of those situations where Trevor Ariza, they need to make sure they get Trevor Ariza back. Get him away from the Phoenix Suns. Get him back in the Houston Rockets uniform. If they do that, I think they'll be fine.
I got you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Ben, you're live with Stephen A. You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Stephen A., you're beautiful. I'll tell you what, I hope your brother-in-law isn't driving the car when you went through that whole shebang with that thing. That could get ugly. Hey, you're usually right 75% of the time. I'm from Youngstown.
I would say 95%, but go ahead.
You know, you're probably closer. You're right. But look, he held Cleveland hostage not once but twice. I love the guy. It's just he could have done 4 more years here, and that the economics of him here. You know, I was at the Tribe game in the playoffs, and I just said, you know what, to my wife, this is it.
I got it, but that's not fair to him, bro. He gave y'all 11 years, man. He gave you 11 years. Don't act like he owed you more. He gave you 11 years, and the last 4 years, he took you to the NBA Finals. I got to go. I appreciate the call, Ben, but come on. Come on. Hour number 2 up next. Stephen A. ESPN Radio. You know that, Ben. Come on, man. You can't do that. LeBron James doesn't owe y'all anything. You're basically saying, oh, you could have gave us more. Could have gave you a lot less. Be grateful. Be grateful. Jason Witten up next on the NFL in a minute.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.